I stabbed him. He won't stop attacking me.
April 3rd, 2022, 4:38 p.m. Miami 911 gets a call. A woman's voice. I stabbed him. He won't stop attacking me. 24 minutes later, her boyfriend of 2 years was gone. She had 1.8 million followers as an OnlyFans creator. He had an MBA and a future in finance. One toxic relationship, one knife, one injury. Two completely opposite stories. Was it genuinely self-defense, or was it a decision that cost everything? Motive Disclosed is breaking down every text, every piece of evidence, and every court update through June 2026 to figure out what really happened in that apartment. The Courtney Clenney case is a mess, and for good reason. Courtney Clenney, an OnlyFans creator with 1.8 million followers, is currently awaiting trial. The charge? Second-degree murder. Half the internet says she planned it, cold-blooded. The other half says she was defending herself. Things just went wrong. And honestly, both sides have evidence. There are thousands of threatening texts between them. There's video footage of past violence. There are documented bruise marks on both of them. Instead of solving the case, all this evidence just made it more complicated. The trial keeps getting delayed. No final decision yet. So now people aren't just questioning Courtney, they're questioning the court itself. Some people call it influencer privilege. Others say race played a role because Christian was black. But today, we're not taking sides. Today we're breaking down every piece of evidence, every witness statement, and exactly what the police found that made the court's decision harder, not easier. Because if we want to know if this was self-defense or murder, we have to start with the facts, not the opinions. Evidence number 1, the texts. Police pulled over 1,000 messages between Courtney and Christian, and let me tell you, it wasn't cute. Christian texts, I'm going to kill you, bitch. Courtney replies, I'll kill you first. This wasn't a one-time fight. This was their normal. Prosecutors say these texts prove intent. They argue Courtney was planning violence for months. But the defense says something different. They say this proves a pattern of mutual abuse. So which is it? Does I'll kill you first mean premeditation? Or does it mean she was terrified and fighting back? Here's the problem. The texts alone don't answer that. But the next piece of evidence? That's where it gets complicated. Evidence number 2, video footage. Police recovered security video from their apartment building, not from the night of the killing, but from before. In one video, you can see Christian pushing Courtney. In another, Courtney is seen throwing hands. Both sides look violent. Both sides look scared. The prosecution says, see, she's aggressive. The defense says, see, he was attacking her. But here's what nobody talks about. There's no video of the actual stabbing. No camera inside that apartment at 4:38 p.m. So we're left with before to guess what happened during. And that's a dangerous game. If both of them were violent before, does that make the stabbing self-defense? Or does it make it inevitable? To answer that, we need to look at evidence number 3, the physical evidence. Evidence number 3, the injuries. When police arrived, Christian had one fatal stab wound to the chest. Courtney had bruises on her arms, her face, her body. Prosecutors say, one stab wound, that's execution, not self-defense. Defense says, look at her bruises, she was being attacked. Both are true, and that's why this case is a nightmare. Forensic experts disagree on the angle of the knife. Some say it was a downward stab, like an attack. Others say it was upward, like someone being pinned down. The jury has to decide which expert to believe. So we have texts that show hate, video that shows violence, and injuries that show both sides got hurt. But we're still missing one thing, the text the judge called privileged. Remember that text from 4:26 p.m., the one the jury never saw? Legal experts say it could change everything. If it proves she planned it, it's murder. If it proves she was scared, it's self-defense. But a Miami judge ruled it privileged communication, so 12 jurors had to decide her fate without seeing the most important message. Let's talk about that text from 4:26 p.m., the one the judge called privileged. In law, privilege means certain communications are protected. The court decided this text was between Courtney and her therapist, and therapist-patient conversations, they're confidential, even in a murder trial. The prosecution argued this text proves she planned the killing. The defense argued this text proves she was afraid for her life. But the judge ruled, I don't care what it says. You can't use it. Because if courts break therapist privilege, nobody would ever talk to a therapist again. So now the jury had a problem. They had to decide between murder and self-defense, without seeing the one message that might explain her state of mind at 4:26 p.m. 12 people, one decision, missing one piece of the puzzle. And this is why the Courtney Clenney case is a mess. It's not just about a knife. It's about texts, trauma, video, injuries, and the law itself. When evidence gets thrown out, the truth gets blurry. So was it self-defense? Was it premeditated murder? Or was it something messier? Something the law isn't built to judge. Courtney Taylor Clenney, 26 years old. She built an OnlyFans and Instagram brand around fitness, lifestyle content. 1.8 million followers. She lived in One Paraiso, a luxury high-rise in Edgewater, Miami. Rent, over $4,000 a month. Christian Obumseli, 27. Friends called him Toby. MBA graduate, worked in finance. His family described him as ambitious, family-oriented, full of plans. They met in 2020, moved in together in early 2021. On social media, couple photos, vacations, relationship goals. But behind closed doors, building security and neighbors would later testify, the fights were loud and frequent. But here's the question everyone asks. Why were they fighting so much? For the first year, 2020 to 2021, friends said it was normal, happy. The fight started mid-2021, about 6 months after they moved in together. And the main reason? 4 things kept coming up. Number 1, OnlyFans. Courtney's income came from OnlyFans and Instagram content. Bikini photos, lifestyle posts, DMs with subscribers. Court documents show Christian constantly accused her of cheating, flirting, selling herself online. Courtney accused him of being controlling, demanding she quit, checking her phone. She made more money than him. He wanted her to stop. She refused. That tension never went away. Number 2, cheating accusations. Both sides. Texts show Courtney accused Christian of messaging other women. Christian accused Courtney of affairs with subscribers. Whether it was true or not, the accusations themselves caused constant fights. Number 3, alcohol. Witnesses and texts reference both drinking heavily during arguments. Alcohol was present on April 3rd, too. And we know from criminology, alcohol removes impulse control. Small fights become big fights, fast. Number 4, the toxic cycle. Big fight, breakup threats, makeup. Will change. 2 weeks later, same fight again. Domestic violence experts call it trauma bonding. The prosecution calls it mutual aggression. Building staff testified the fights got louder and more frequent from late 2021 into early 2022. Security was called to their floor multiple times, but no police reports were filed before April 3rd. So by the time April 3rd happened, this wasn't the first fight. It was just the last one. Now, this is where the case gets complicated. Both sides submitted thousands of text messages as evidence. Thousands. The prosecution highlighted messages where Courtney wrote things like, "I'm going to end you," and "I'll kill you," during arguments. They argued this showed a pattern of aggression. But the defense? They highlighted messages where Christian allegedly threatened her back. They also submitted photos of injuries Courtney sustained months before April 2022, arguing he was physically aggressive toward her. Neighbors testified they heard both of them screaming, week after week. One neighbor said Christian sounded intense during arguments. Another said they heard Courtney yelling too. The point is, court documents show a relationship with mutual conflict, jealousy, accusations of cheating from both sides. No police reports were filed before April 3rd. Here's what we know. From police reports, 911 audio, and building logs. 4:15 p.m. Building footage shows Courtney and Christian returning to their apartment after being out. 4:30 p.m. Multiple neighbors report hearing loud arguing from apartment 3007. One neighbor testified they heard, "Get off me." 4:38 p.m. 911 call placed from Courtney's phone. Audio was later released to the public. She's crying, panicked. She says, "I stabbed him," and "he won't stop." The operator asks if he's breathing. She says she doesn't know. 4:42 p.m. Miami police arrive. Body cam footage shows officers entering. Christian is on the floor. A knife is on the ground nearby. Officers begin life-saving efforts immediately. 5 p.m. Christian is pronounced deceased at the hospital. Cause? A single penetrating injury to the chest area that affected his heart. The medical examiner later classified it as loss of blood due to that injury. Courtney had visible marks on her neck and arms. She told police Christian came at her, and she grabbed a kitchen knife to get him off her. She was detained that night, but not charged. August 10th, 2022. Courtney is arrested in Hawaii, charged with second-degree violent offense with a weapon in Florida. She pleaded not guilty and claimed self-defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. So what evidence are both sides using? First, the injury report. The medical examiner found one injury, approximately 3.5 inches deep, entering the chest cavity. The prosecution argues the angle shows she was standing over him. The defense argues it shows he was moving toward her. Second, the text history. Both sides use it to show the other was the aggressor. Third, witness statements. Neighbors confirm frequent fights, but none of them witnessed the incident itself. Fourth, Courtney's injuries. The defense uses the marks on her neck and arms as evidence she was attacked. The prosecution argues they could be defensive or from the struggle itself. Bond was originally set at $100,000, then increased to $1 million in 2023 after she missed a court date. Trial was scheduled for April 27, 2026, but as of April 1, 2026, the judge delayed it to late August 2026 for new witness availability and evidence review. As of June 19, 2026, no trial has occurred yet. She remains out on bond. Criminology teaches us to look at 4 things: motive, means, opportunity, and pattern. So, the prosecution's theory. They argue the argument escalated. Courtney retrieved the knife during the fight. The injury was a single, directed action during anger. They argue self-defense doesn't apply because Christian was unarmed, and she could have left the apartment. Now, the defense theory. They argue Christian was physically attacking her. She was pinned down and grabbed the nearest object, a kitchen knife, to create distance and stop the attack. One action to end the threat. That's the legal definition of self-defense in Florida. Both sides have domestic violence experts testifying. Both sides have text messages supporting their version. This is why the jury trial in late August 2026 matters. 12 people will decide which version matches the evidence. Courtney Clenney maintains she acted to protect herself. Christian Obumseli's family maintains he was the victim of a fatal decision. 2 lives, changed forever, in one moment. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to show you the evidence. The jury will see. So, what do you think? Self-defense or something else? Comment below, but keep it respectful, because these were real people. If you want to understand more U.S. criminal cases, explained with original 2D animation, subscribe to Motive Disclosed 2D